Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, coming at you live to talk about episode 15 of season 2 of ClassicaLoid. And I feel like I say this every episode now, but this was absurd. It was insane. Chimera Ottawa, or Himeka Ottawa, as she announces her name is in this episode. I don't know which her name is. We've seen Chimera before in a previous episode. She was, said to be Chimera Ottawa, and then she announces again at the end of this episode, toward the end of this episode, her name is Himeka. I'm a little confused, I have to admit. I'm not sure which name is hers, but in any case, sumo, it's all about sumo wrestling, and I just have to wonder, where the hell did they come up with this? What made them pick sumo wrestling as a theme for this episode? I don't know. There was one scene in particular, sort of midway through, where Sosuke, after having bulked up and beefed up, he ends up running away, and he's like, he doesn't want anything to do with it, and he's crying, and he feels self-doubt and self-pity, all this stuff. And Kanai goes after him and brings him back, and there's this really, sort of pseudo-heartwarming moment where he's by a lakeside and he's revealing his all to her, and I'm like, is there some sumo wrestling movie I don't know about, that's or a cultural sumo related story where a character didn't have the heart and they ran away and they were sulking, but then they were brought back? Is this a reference to something? I don't know. Is that why they picked sumo? I don't know. It was insane. I don't get it. I don't understand why they chose that out of everything they could have, chosen. But this is, for all intents and purposes, the brainchild of Chimera, Himeka, Kanai's mother, as a means, at least what she says at the start, is it's a means to take Wakun down a peg, bring him back a peg. He's getting a little too carried away with himself, and he needs to be taught a lesson, is kind of the guise under which she's approaching this. And this is how she's selling this idea to all of the rest of, specifically the male classicaloids, but really everybody. It's going to mostly involve the male classicaloids, because they are all going to undergo training, and even Sosuke, who's not a classicaloid. And even Dovo-chan, apparently, who is a hippo, and immediately puts his front paw in the little battle arena, sumo arena, and is immediately disqualified at first, because you're supposed to be on two legs, bipedal, no four-legged creatures. I died laughing because I was like, okay, he's a sure shot to win if he can get up on his hind legs. He's going to beat everybody. Being a hippo, and how small in stature, not stature, but girth, all of these other classicaloid males, and Sosuke especially, are. Even if they have this prowess of the musique and everything like that, they're all pretty scrawny for the most part. You look at Chopin, especially, who is timid to boot, so he gets disqualified, and then he ends up being the referee, which is hilarious. But so they do all undergo this training and everything like that, and you have for Elise, being Beethoven's music that he calls forth and summons forth, and mystically, magically, expounds upon all the training and the food intake, so they gain weight and everything like that. Plenty of fan service, for anyone who likes these character designs. I mean, they're wearing practically nothing, like a little diapers, for a large majority of the episode. And I love how once they've undergone the transformations and they're so much more bulkier, you have Schubert and Chopin talking much more deep, and we they can barely talk. But no, being the brainchild of Kanai's mother, and twisting all of their perspectives, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pointedly go on the attack. The whole point of this is to snap Wakun back a peg, and she enlists Kanai to go get him and bring him home, which she does. And there's a sort of heartfelt moment there. And I was kind of like, why are you telling them? She just comes out and says, well, they all want to take you down a peg. but I just think it would be nice to have you come home. You know, she actually does care about him. And as we see, Kanai's mother also cares about him. It's not so much by the end taking him down a peg, but it is about teaching him something, teaching him a sort of lesson, and widening his perspective, widening his scope on the life he's living. You know, he's put himself up on a pedestal, and, you know, he's kind of, as a result of that, he's kind of put himself into a self-imposed exile of a sort. There's nobody he can relate to anymore on a similar level. And so this is really about getting him involved with a group of similar people, the ClassicaLoids, teaching them all the lesson. The form and function of her entire plan is to get them all together and get them working together, doing something where they've got to support each other, they've got to believe in each other. And so amidst all this absurdity, picking sumo wrestling, like, we're just going to take him down a peg, and all the themographies that are intertwined in that, the brass tacks, the bottom line is getting all these characters to align. And even though, Wakun fails, that he doesn't win the day against this other smarmy sumo troupe, who for some reason they just call him Botched from right out of the gate, like having no foreknowledge of who he is, I'm assuming, and the first word they go to is the one he hates the most, Botched. But even though he fails in that regard, as far as the tournament, the contest goes, he's gained so much perspective wise, and it's astounding. The one who probably is the most vocal out of all the ClassicaLoids that hates him is Beethoven. And Beethoven's the guy who comes over and grabs him and like gives him a noogie. He's like, "You did great, kid." Like eschewing whatever adversaries they have between them and everything. So it was kind of like, oh wow, I like that. I really like the way this played out. This was Kanai's mother's plan all along, Chimera or Himeka's plan all along. Not to take him down a peg as far as put him in his place, make him see that he's not as, he doesn't have as much worth as he's primped himself up to believe he has. It's more so, you put yourself up on a pedestal and now you're lonely. You're lonely at the top, and you were happier when you could commingle with these characters, even if you didn't like them. You commingled with them, you related to them, and you had more fun. You were more boisterous. Get back in touch with that. And again, at the same time with the other ClassicaLoids, they found a way to accept Wakun, and sort of welcome him to their little troupe. They all experienced something that was really aggressive and strange together, and they forged bonds between themselves by the end for it. And I was really astounded by that in the end. I am wondering, because we had all the females involved, List and some of Kanai's friends and everything. They were down in a secret kitchen. Why? An industrial kitchen where they had to make like these chicken whatever, different kinds of chicken dishes or whatever, for the purposes of sumo, I guess, to bulk up protein and everything, gain weight, I don't know. But the secret kitchen thing, and then you had Hashi the bird becoming inquisitive, and then toward the end of the episode, the last shot in fact is a Hashi with glowing red eyes, and it looks like this industrial kitchen explodes. So I don't know if that's meant to say that this kitchen just appeared temporarily as a hidden room just for the sake of this sumo story, and then in the end Hashi saw to its being wiped out again, so it's gone. It's not going to be there any longer. Like if they move the giant whatever it is, piano, harpsichord, whatever it is, if they move that, it'll just be wall. There won't be any more secret passageway anymore. So I don't know. That was kind of curious. Hashi seemed really concerned about it, and then he just seemed to put the cap on the bottle by the end. That okay, no more room. It exploded. It's gone. But I mean, that's this show in a nutshell. Every episode is absurd and hilarious, and I did laugh out loud quite a few times. The whole time I was sort of like grinning because I'm like, anybody who likes these characters and wants to see them wearing less, they're going to be so happy through the majority of it. And but yeah, it had a lot of heart in the end, and that's what this show always has. It always turns back around amidst the absurdity. It has a really heartfelt center, and I love that. And I love that they can take it and be funny, off the wall, absurd, tongue in cheek, whatever like that, but always have a deep, engaging, heartfelt center. And so, yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. If you've seen episode 15 of Season 2 of ClassicaLoid, if you enjoyed it as much as I did, if you were gobsmacked and dumbfounded as I was by it, let me know that in the comments below. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. Now that we're back to the series proper after, the last episode, which was kind of a catch-up episode and flashback and all that kind of stuff. But, who knows? Who knows where this is going to go? So yeah, otherwise that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.